सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणं मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। In the last class, we completed the 6th chapter. All of you know that Bhagavad Gita has got 18 chapters. And this entire Bhagavad Gita is divided into 3 Shatkam. Shatkam is a group of 6 chapters. The first 6 chapters are predominantly talking about the nature of jiva, what an individual is. And the second Shatkam, which is consisting of 6 chapters from 7 to 12, they are presenting Ishvara Swarupa. What is the nature of Ishvara? And the last 6 chapters, 13 to 18, are presenting what is the relationship between the Jiva and Ishvara. And the relationship is oneness. Essentially, Jiva and Ishvara are one. That vision is highlighted in the last Shatkam, 13 to 18 chapters. Thus, the entire Bhagavad Gita is revealing the vision of Vedanta. And what is the vision of Vedanta? Tat Tvam Asi. You are that Ishvara. You and Ishvara are essentially one. And in that sentence, Tattvamasi sentence, which is called Mahavakya, great sentence, 3 words are there: Tvam, Tat and Asi. So Tvam is elaborated in the first 6 chapters. Tat is elaborated in the second 6 chapters, means 13 to 18, 7 to 12, and the last Asi, you are, that is highlighted in the third Shatkam, 13 to 18. And another way also we see the division of these 3 Shatkam. The emphasis is different. In the first 6 chapters, there is emphasis on Karma Yoga. Then, next 6 chapters, 7 to 12, there is emphasis on Upasana Yoga, which is also known as Bhakti Yoga. And the 13 to 18, the last Shatkam, last group of 6 chapters, is highlighting Jnana Yoga. So, 3 Shatkas, the group of 6 chapters are highlighting 3 different sadhanas: Karma Yoga, Upasana Yoga or Bhakti Yoga, and last one is Dhyana Yoga. It does not mean other things are not talked about, but these 3 are highlighted in respective Shatkam. And one more emphasis, the difference in emphasis we see, and that is the first 6 chapters are highlighting self-effort. Bhagavan said, Uddhared Atmanatmanam. You get up, help yourself. So self-effort is highlighted. But self-effort is not enough. Therefore, in these 7 to 12 chapters, this grace of Ishvara is highlighted. So we require self-effort, we require grace of Ishvara. So Bhagavan says, you make self-effort, I am there to shower my grace. And though grace aspect is highlighted, Bhagavan we said, Bhavamina Chirat Partha, I will lift them up. When they are sincere in their efforts, I will lift them up. So grace aspect is highlighted in the second Shatkam. And in the last Shatkam, 13 to 18, the values are highlighted. Devi Sampat is highlighted. That Amanitvam, Adambitvam, then Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti, Abhayam, Sattva Samshuddhi, all values, good qualities which every sadhaka requires, those qualities are highlighted. Thus, the entire Bhagavad Gita is divided into 3 Shatkas, and each Shatkam is group of 6 chapters, has got some point of emphasis. First Shatkam is emphasizing the Karma Yoga, it is emphasizing Jiva Swarupa, and it is emphasizing Karma Yoga. It is emphasizing Tvam Padartha and self-effort. So Tvam Padartha and Karma Yoga and self-effort. Second Shatkam is highlighting Bhakti Yoga, and it is Ishvara Swarupa and grace of Ishvara. Third one is highlighting this Aikyam, oneness between the two, and Jnana Yoga and values. In this manner, entire Bhagavad Gita can be seen in these 3 groups having different emphasis. With this background, we enter into the 7th chapter. The last chapter was Dhyana Yoga. In that, we had seen there are 6 topics. First topic was Bahiranga Sadhana, then Antaranga Sadhana, and then Dhyana Swarupam and Dhyana Phalam, Dhyana Pratibandhaka, obstacles, and then Yoga Brashta. These are the topics discussed in the 6th chapter. And at the end, Bhagavan had glorified this meditation on Ishvara. And Bhagavan said, Yoginam api sarvesham madgate nantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yo mam same yukta tamo mata. One who is meditating on me, having Shraddha and having the mind focused on me, that person is the best meditator. When this type of expression is used by Bhagavan, then question may be, how one can be Madgata Antaratma? How one can be the one who has focused on Ishvara? What is that Ishvara? All these questions can be raised. In fact, Bhagavan wanted those questions to be raised. So like a trailer, Bhagavan presented the last shloka to create the curiosity for knowing further. And therefore, Prashna Bijam, the seed for the questions were sown in the last chapter. And therefore, question can be there, what is this Ishvara? Because so far, Ishvara aspect was not highlighted. Jiva Swarupam was highlighted, that is Akarta, Abhokta, Nirvikara, all those things are highlighted. What is the nature of Ishvara? That was not highlighted. So now question can be, what is the nature of Ishvara? And how one can remain committed to Ishvara? how to become devotee of the Lord exclusively, not having any other commitment. How one can do that? All those questions are going to be answered from the 7th chapter onwards. So 7 to 12, all these questions regarding Ishvara will be answered. With this background, we enter into the 7th chapter. Atha saptamodhyayah Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Saptamanah Partha Yogam Yunjanmadashrayah Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yatha Jnasyasi Tachrunu. So Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. So Bhagavan did not wait for Arjuna to ask. He himself starts giving the Upadesha, regarding which he has given some hint in the previous chapter. In the previous chapter he had said Yoginam api sarvesham madgate nantaratmana. By that some hint about Ishvara was given, that knowing, meditating on Ishvara, person becomes the highest meditator. So question would be, who is Ishvara? And Bhagavan is introducing the topic of the knowledge of Ishvara. The introduction part is there in the first 3 shlokas. So 7th chapter, first 3 shlokas are introduction to Ishvara Gyan. And in this introduction, Bhagavan is going to glorify this knowledge. Bhagavan is going to tell how this knowledge is comprehensive and it is complete. And knowing this, nothing else remains to be known. And what are the qualifications required to know Ishvara? All those details are given in these first 3 shlokas. So here Bhagavan says, main sentence is, Mam yatha gnasyasi tachrunu. May you listen to that. Yatha. By which method? Mam gnasyasi. You will know me. So I will give you the teaching by which you will know me. Which Swamiji used to say nicely. He said, who can introduce Ishvara the best? Ishvara himself. Ishvara is the best to introduce himself. Anybody else introduces Ishvara, either he has to depend upon Ishvara, and without depending upon Ishvara, if he tries to introduce, it will be incomplete introduction. Therefore, Ishvara is the best to introduce, to reveal himself. And that's what Bhagavan says, I will tell you how you will know me. And he says, my knowledge will be not incomplete, samagram, completely. How you will know me completely, that method, that teaching I am going to give you. And Samagram has got this idea that Bhagavan has got 2 aspects. One is called Saguna, other is called Nirguna. So we do not have 2 Ishvara. One is Saguna Ishvara and other is Nirguna Ishvara. There are not 2 separate entities. One and the same reality, when seen with certain upadhi, certain media, especially Maya, then that Brahman is called Saguna Brahma, Sopadhika Brahma. And same Brahman when seen without any upadhi, any medium, then he is called Nirguna Brahma. So there are not 2 Ishvara or not 2 Brahman, Saguna Brahma and Nirguna Brahma. Same Brahman when seen with upadhi is called Saguna Brahma. Seen without the reference of upadhi, it is called Nirguna Brahma. So Bhagavan says, I will tell you, I will teach you about me, Samagram, means I will teach you about my Nirguna Swarupam and I will teach you about Saguna Swarupam, attributed nature. and attributeless nature. Both I will teach you. Therefore, Samagram. And this teaching is important because many people have got conflict whether I should worship Shaguna or I should pursue Nirguna. Really speaking, there is no conflict. You person should not think, oh, I am now studying Nirguna Brahman, then Saguna Brahma, Ishvara will be angry with me. He is not like your uncle or somebody. Our uncle who gets angry if you don't call him for some time. Bhagwan doesn't have. So we need not fear Bhagwan. The Bhagwan doesn't have that if you don't remember or you don't chant his sutra. People have this. Swami, today I have not chanted Vishnu Sahasranama, so something will happen. People have this fear. Lalita Sahasranama I did not chant, so Devi will be very angry with me today. That is initially okay. Children we can tell so that they will do it. If you don't do it, then you will not get good marks in exam. So perhaps that also is not a very healthy method, but perhaps somebody can adopt. But when we grow up, then all these things, ideas, we have to outgrow. Then only you are growing. When you outgrow these wrong ideas, you are growing. If you are holding on to old ideas, then even though physically you are growing, but mentally you are what? Same childish person. That's what happens at the age of 80, that thinking is childish thinking. Not childlike thinking, childish thinking. So we need not have fear about Bhagwan. At least one entity we are not afraid of. Otherwise we are afraid of so many people. Afraid of spouse, afraid of children, afraid of parents, afraid of neighbors, afraid of the officers, afraid. So we need not. Bhagwan is the same. Saguna Brahma and Nirguna Brahma, they are same reality. Only reference point is different. If you have reference of this Maya Upadhi, he is called Saguna Brahma. Without the reference of Maya Upadhi, he is Nirguna Brahma. So Bhagwan says, I will teach you both. Samagram Mam Gnasyasi and Asamshayam, without any doubt. You will know me doubtlessly. Because doubtful knowledge is as good as no knowledge in terms of effectiveness. Generally, we give the example. If somebody you ask that when does the train depart, when did train will start, if that person says, I think it is 9:15. Or he says, I don't know. In both cases, you have to ask somebody else. If he says, I think 9:15 means, may not be sure. You cannot take a chance. And therefore, doubtful knowledge is effective wise. Otherwise, some progress is there. Doubtful knowledge also is of knowledge. So some progress is made. But in terms of effectiveness, doubtful knowledge is as good as no knowledge because it does not give the result. So Bhagavan says, Asamshayam. I will teach you doubtlessly. Means you will know me without any doubt. But for that, Bhagavan says, Hey Partha, hey Arjuna, 3 conditions are required. What are they? Mai asakta manaha. One has to become asakta manaha. One whose mind is devoted mai to the Lord. This is an important condition. To understand Ishvara, I need to have the love for Ishvara. I need to have love for the knowledge of Ishvara. That is why the study done in the Gurukulam is different from the study done in the university. In university, perhaps you may get more details, more references, more comparison, comparative study, comparative ideas. So you may feel little great scholar about yourself. But that education does not give you moksha. We have not heard that somebody was doing PhD in Vedanta and got moksha. I have not heard so far. So, study of this Vedanta especially, other physics, chemistry you can study there. You should not study here. It is better to study in university. But the study of Ishvara, study of the Shastra, giving Ishvara Jnanam, for that one requires particular attitude, devotional attitude. So devotion is highlighted here, Mai Asakta Manaha. See, we have asakti, attachment to so many things. Bhagavan says, why don't you have attachment for me, for a change? So that is first condition. Mai asakta manaha, having devotion, attachment to me. Means there is a love for knowing Ishvara. It is not a burden. It is a joy to pursue the knowledge of Ishvara. Second thing is madashrayaha, having refuge in Ishvara, having shelter in Ishvara. Means there is somewhat carefreeness when you are pursuing the knowledge of Ishvara. That even when I am studying Shastra or doing any sadhana related to Ishvara Jnanam, then I will be taken care of. I need not be worried. What will happen if I am studying Shastra, then I will be lagging behind, and then in any group, what people will, when they ask, I don't know anything. So what people will think of me? All these worries are not there. Why? Because Bhagavan is my refuge. Even if the whole world does not accept me, my Bhagavan accepts me. I don't care. In Gujarati, there is a nice bhajan where devotee is telling, Dunya ruthe to bhale rutheti, pan tu na ruthish hamara nath. Means, oh Lord, let the whole world reject me, but please, you don't reject me. You don't be what is called angry with me. It's a devotional aspect. So he said, you don't have a rejection for me. Let the whole world reject me. Means I have so much conviction in this care of Bhagavan that I do not have any worries about what will happen. Then only the pursuit of knowledge of Ishvara will be effective. Otherwise, people will be so much worried about what will happen tomorrow. Nowadays, another thing is how much money is required to retire. That's a big thing. There are calculations. You have to calculate inflation. You have to calculate this medical requirement. All this accidental expenditure. All this. There's a lot of study. I was listening something. Seeing something there, they said you may require this many crores. So for the devotee, what is the wealth? Ishvara is my wealth. And when that is there, and person should have trust in that. Simply verbal lip service, you say, Bhagavan is my wealth, just to impress people, that will not work. In fact, then Bhagavan will put you on test also. If you are having only lip service, Bhagavan say, okay, you trust me, no? That remains hungry for 1 or 2 days, I will see. Anyway, 2-3 kgs are to be reduced, so anyway it will be reduced. Good. And then Bhagavan's trust will go away. So, madashrayaha. Mad refers to Ishvara. Ashraya means support. Ishvara's knowledge can be effectively attained when one has chosen Ishvara as one's support. Bhagavan says those who are committed to this pursuit of Ishvara Jnanam, I will take care of them. Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. But one should have trust. And that is said here, Madashraya. And then Yogam Yunjan. Yogam Yunjan means practicing some upasana. Manas Samadhanam Kurvan. Focusing the mind on Ishvara. Some way or the other. That is called Yogam Yunjan. For any sadhanas required to remain focused on Ishvara. It can be japa, it can be kirtanam, it can be chanting. So whatever is required to remain connected with Ishvara, one should do. Because the pull from samsara is very strong. And therefore what will happen? Little bit pull comes and you are distracted from the pursuit. And therefore, yogam yunjan, remaining connected to Ishvara, doing this sadhana for remaining focused on Ishvara. So these are the three conditions. Attachment to Bhagavan means devotion to Bhagavan first. Second is considering Ishvara to be my support. And third is remaining focused on Ishvara with the help of various sadhanas. It can be kirtanam, it can be parayanam, it can be japa, vachika japa, manasa japa. All of them can be included in this yogam yunjan. Bhagavan says, if somebody is pursuing my knowledge in this manner, then he will know me completely and doubtlessly. And this knowledge is further explained in the next shloka. Jnanam teham savijnanam idam vakshamya sheshatah yajnatva neha bhuyonyat jnatavyam avashishyate. So Bhagavan says, idam jnanam te vakshyami. I will impart, vakshyami means literally speak. I will speak to you about this knowledge, which is savijnanam, along with the knowledge in subjective form. So there are two types of knowledge of Ishvara. One is called jnanam, other is called vijnanam. What is jnanam? Knowing that Ishvara is. There is someone who is the cause of this world, creator of this world, who is all-knowing, who is omnipotent, and he is compassionate, etc. This type of knowledge of Ishvara in third person is called jnanam. Technical language, it is called paroksha jnana, indirect knowledge. Most of the people have got this indirect knowledge, that yes, there is someone called Ishvara. So, Ishvaraha asti iti jnanam. There is someone called Ishvara. Ishvara exists. This knowledge is called paroksha jnanam, and here it is called only jnanam. So, jnanam means knowing that Ishvara exists. That itself is a good thing, because there are many people who do not believe in Ishvara. In fact, to believe in the existence of Ishvara, you require some punya. It's not easy. To accept Ishvara requires some punya. And everybody does not have that. They may have punyam for getting comforts. But this type of punyam, specific punyam, which will help you attain Shraddha in Ishvara, it requires some punya. Therefore, if somebody in your family does not accept Ishvara, you need not be angry with that. You can pray for the person. When punyam is not there, however much you try, person will not accept. And generally by arguments, you cannot convince the person about Ishvara. It requires Ishvara's grace to accept Ishvara. So this knowledge that there is some creator of this world who is all-knowing, who is omnipotent, all-power, that is called jnana. So Bhagavan says, I will give you paroksha jnanam of Ishvara. Means, I will give you the jnanam where you can see such Ishvara exists. But that is not enough for getting moksha. Therefore he says, sa vijnanam, along with vijnanam. What is Vijnanam? Knowing that Ishvara and me are essentially one. Knowing Ishvara to be oneself is called aparoksha jnanam, direct knowledge of Ishvara. So, Ishvaraha aham asmi, soham, saha Ishvaraha, that Ishvara I am. This type of knowledge is called aparoksha jnanam, direct knowledge, immediate knowledge, otherwise called Vijnana. So in this context, Jnanam means the indirect knowledge, Vijnanam means direct knowledge. And Bhagavan says, this knowledge, Vakshyami, I will impart, I will present. Asheshataha, Asheshataha means without any remainder. Nothing will be left out. I will tell you that what is the content of this knowledge of Ishvara, what is the result of knowledge of Ishvara, what are the qualifications required for knowing Ishvara, all the things related to Jnanam and Vijnanam I will tell you. And Bhagavan says, what is the benefit? Yajnatva. Having attained this knowledge, Bhuyah anyat jnatavyam na avashishyate. Iha in this life, Bhuyah further, anyat anything else, jnatavyam to be known, na avashishyate is not left out. After knowing Ishvara completely, nothing remains to be known. So by knowing Ishvara, you can know everything. This is what is said in the Chandogya Upanishad 6th chapter. That yatha ekena mritpundena vignatena sarvam mrunmayam vignatam bhavati. So by knowing one clay, all pots are as well known. Similarly, by knowing one reality, which is Ishvara, everything is as well known. Yena vignatena sarvam vignatam bhavati. So there, this Uddalaka, the father is asking his son this question. Have you asked to your teacher about that teaching, having understood which you will not have anything to be known. Everything is as well known. So generally, if I know this clip, I know the clip, I don't know the mic. If I know physics, I know physics, I don't know chemistry. If I know mathematics, I know mathematics. I do not know the biology, etc. So here, this is a speciality of knowledge of Ishvara. That if you know Ishvara well, then nothing remains to be known. Why? Because all that is here is Ishvara only. So if you know Ishvara well, then everything is as well known, because nothing is separate from Ishvara. That's what in the entrance itself we have written. All that is here in this world is Ishvara. So if you know Ishvara well, you have known everything as well. And that is a big relief for many people. Because people have this anxiety. I want to know what is the truth behind everything. What is the truth? Is this atom is the truth? Particles is the truth? String are the truth? Now a string theory is there. So what is the truth? What is the truth? Behind the string, what is there? What was there before Big Bang? What is the nature of singularity? So many questions are there. And some people, they become very restless about it. That is called intellectual samsara. There are different types of samsara. This is intellectual samsara. We have got 3 types of samsara. Samsara means that bondage, not wife. So 3 types of wives. Some they have one wife enough. So 3 types of bondage. What are they? One is bondage related to the body, physical samsara. Means I am fat, I am lean, I am dark, I am old. Why I am like this? I am dark. People call me dark. There is a kalu. What is the word for in Tamil? The person who is dark. What do they say? Some word is there. Huh? Huh? Karpan. So when they say कालिया कालिया हाँ हिंदी में कालिया बोलते हैं. So people they do so much, the cream and all this apply, fair and lovely cream. They write also you will have 2 degree of fairness. The degree also is there in that 2 and 2 notch or something. So it will make you look fair. Complex. I am looking old now, very weak. So this is physical samsara. And also I don't have this, this also included in physical samsara. So most of the time we have a big list, complaint list. This is not there, this is not there, this is not okay, this is not okay. This is physical samsara. Another one is emotional samsara. In fact, there is only one samsara. One is physical aspect of samsara, we are calling physical samsara. Samsara is one, centered on I. So, but these are 3 aspects. Second is emotional aspect of samsara, we can call it emotional samsara. What is that? Swamiji, nobody really loves me. All are very selfish. I thought this person really loves me, but the other day I understood. That person also said, I don't want to be with you. Chala gaya. So, this is a big emotional. Swamiji, another problem is, Swamiji, nobody understands me. One lady told me, Swamiji, even my husband after 25 years of marriage doesn't understand. So I was enlightened a little bit. That yes, 25 years together is not enough. Swamiji doesn't understand me. And husband also, they keep quiet, but they also will think that my wife Swamiji doesn't understand me. Actually, what are my problems? He doesn't understand. And therefore keeps on telling this or that. So this is emotional samsara. What? I am not understood by anyone. Nobody really loves me. This is emotion. Nobody loves me. Nobody really cares for me. I am feeling lonely. This is what? Emotional samsara. Which is Swamiji used to say, how can you feel lonely when we have got 7 billion of people? Our Mother Earth is highly crowded. How can you feel lonely? But still we feel lonely. And he very nicely said, what is the meaning? What is the idea conveyed when you say I am feeling lonely? When I say I am feeling lonely means I am not feeling understood. I am not feeling connected with anyone. So not feeling connected with people around, not feeling understood by people, that we express as what? I am lonely. People commit suicide. Feeling lonely. Because nobody is there for whom I live my life. I don't have any purpose. I don't have any altar of my emotions. And now one more problem has come is this GPT, all that AI. And recently I heard that one in the West country it happened that one boy, maybe 1920 or something, committed suicide, and his parents have now filed a case against AI, GPT. Why? He said GPT only groomed my son. Means GPT influenced my son so much that he became suicidal. And then he committed suicide. So we have this, that somebody will guide me. So therefore nobody guides you, go to GPT. And GPT will go according to what you want. And therefore what will happen? You will go, if you have got depressive thought, it may make you further depressive. And therefore this feeling lonely, isolated, getting what is called overwhelmed by the people around. Swamiji, nobody listens to me. I have to listen to everybody. This is another emotional problem. Swamiji, in the group, nobody listens to me. In our family, nobody listens to me. I have to listen to everybody. This is the emotional problem. And people, Swamiji, don't respect me. When I go, they don't even look at me. They will continue to do whatever they are doing. As if, Swamiji, I am non-existent. They don't recognize my existence. This is what. All these are one emotional aspect of samsara. And intellectual samsara is this, what we discussed in the beginning. That I want to know this, I want to know this, I want to know this. What is latest thing? That is what they call FOMO, fear of missing. What is called a fear of missing? Missing out, FOMO, missing out, yeah. Fear of missing out. That FOMO is there. So that is intellectual samsara. That you always want to be up to date. What is there? If you don't know, you don't know. In fact, there are some people will be happy that you don't know. I will tell you. So you can become a good listener. Nothing really. We need not be apologetic about it. Especially after certain age, we need not be. If you are, certain age where, you have to move with these friends and you have to prepare for your exam and career and all this, perhaps some information is required. But when we don't have that field, examination, preparation, career and all this, then not required. Even if you have that, what you know, you know. And what you don't know, if it is required, you will know. Otherwise, nobody can know everything. So, intellectual samsara is, I am not knowing so many things. And we have one problem is, we try to hide our ignorance. That is also aspect of intellectual samsara. In India, it is very common. If they don't know English, they will say, yes, 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 yes. Thank you, thank you. When yes is not to be said, they will say yes. But they don't want to admit that they don't know English. Simply say you don't know. Even if you say you understood, understood. And afterwards we understand that they have not understood. That's a big problem. That is a part of intellectual samsara. Intellectual samsara means you want to know so many things and you don't know many things. Bhagavan says that you will be free from when you know me very well. You will be free from this intellectual samsara because you have understood the essence of everything which is Ishvara. Just by knowing the clay, all pots are known. Knowing Ishvara, everything is as well. So Bhagavan says, after knowing me in this world, nothing remains to be known. Such knowledge I am going to give you. And then in the third shloka, Bhagavan is further glorifying this knowledge of Ishvara. We will see the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Dachyate Purnasya